And welcome back to the Splitting Hairs podcast presented by Jackrabbit Illustrated. Another Victory Sunday here, joined by Chad and Dallas tonight. So good to have everybody in the house. And Chad, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I had the YouTube pulled up, so this was looping twice. I thought our stuff was playing in the background, so it was really messing with my head there. But went up to the game, the match today. Got to watch some SDSU wrestling. That was great. So another trip north to Brookings. Always a good day. How about y'all?
Yeah, Dallas, what's going on?
Man, I'm good. Just got back from a hockey game, as is tradition, most of the year. Just got back home from that, so that was good.
Here's what I
went to the. Oh, is that my phone talking?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, mine. I don't have. I'd have eyes.
I don't know what my watch thought she was searching for there. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that down. All right.
Hi, how are you, sir?
All right, but otherwise, great. Brought a buddy with to the game. He had a really good time. A neighborhood friend. He's all in Jackrabbit now. And no, just kind of, I don't know, spent all day just kind of soaking it in and feeling good.
Hey, that's good. Good. So here we are again, presented by Drake's Place out in Bowdle, South Dakota. Excited that so many folks were able to make it to the game from near and far. And especially those folks up there in Bowdle, they got really hammered with snow and ice. I'm not sure if the Drakes were actually there or not, but if you do make it up to Bowdle, be sure to stop in, pick up some food, get your gas there, get some drinks, whatever it is you need to be successful on your trip. Get it at Drake's up in Bowdle. And then Cottonwood, our dear friend Sam Herder, who hates our team, stopped at Cottonwood Bistro this morning, it looks like, and got lunch. And it looks like a turkey sandwich and chips is what it kind of looked like in his picture. It looked really
maybe
good.
A turkey salad.
Looked delicious. I saw that too.
Looked really good.
But he still hates our team.
Yeah. Yep.
But nice enough to come by the tailgate, so it was good to see Sam yesterday.
Good dude.
It was really good to see Sam. Fun to chat him up. So anyways, back to Cottonwood. When you're in Brookings next time, stop at Cottonwood, get some coffee, get some food like Sam did. And if you're not going to make it to Brookings for a while, go to cottonwoodcoffee.com and order your coffee from them and use code JI22 for 10% off. Some exclusions may apply. So there, we made it through that. Man, guys, I'm so damn excited.
I know.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm trying to play it cool here, just, trying to be professional. But I'm so jacked today. Yeah. More and more sets in. Obviously, I think earlier I mentioned that some of it too is just setting in we're getting the matchup we've talked about too. Like that's actually happening. Yeah. So it's all just a little bit surreal.
Indeed. A couple comments here. Ryan Cordes, Holy Cross fan, just checking in to say, nice job, boys. Rooting for you guys in Frisco.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I'm really glad that we have this day buffer between this and work. If we win the national championship and I got to go work right away the next day, that's going to be a rough day.
Yeah.
That's looking forward a little bit. I'm sorry, I get it, but
no, you're right. Jim, this is how I've been feeling too, Jim. Like so different than spring 21 with 3 weeks instead of 1 week to get there. 100%. So I was an idiot and didn't book a hotel room early. And so I'm scrambling a little bit now.
How many rooms do you need?
There's nothing left in Frisco. I need two.
Oh.
There's nothing left in Frisco itself, but the Colony in Plano is not too far away, and they have tons of hotels. So I haven't even booked yet. We're going to see what happens as we get a little bit closer. So my group is still a little bit up in the air. Oh, I don't think Sam did that. Oh,
got a comment up. Sam deleted his 35-31 MSU prediction sometime during the game. How do you feel about this?
Well, if he did, I guess that's kind of chicken, and I don't really think he does that.
No, he wouldn't do that.
He don't up to
That's
it.
funny.
We all know what he predicted.
Yeah. I do. Oh, yep. Missed the game. Yep. That makes sense. So, all right. I do want to bring this up. Yeah. Jim, you have hotel rooms left?
Yeah, he's got hotel rooms in the right next to the stadium there.
Ooh, Jim, we should talk. Let's talk, Jim. All right, I want to talk about the game, and I want to talk about. Hold on, Chad.
Sorry.
It's okay. I want to talk about Preston McGoy's comment here, just because of his nephew, Dayton, I believe, right? Preston is Dayton's uncle, I think, or cousin, one of the two.
Something like that.
Let's talk about that defensive package with Dayton, Jason, Bach, and Stallbird all on the field at the same time. That is an awesome defense. Isaiah moved back to safety this week, was playing back there. That is a lot of speed and size on the field. And those guys were awesome at, shutting down those edges on those stretch plays Montana State was trying to run. Woo-wee.
And they were hitting like a truck, and I love that.
It was yesterday. That was some of the most gap sound defensive football I think I've ever seen. I mean, they trusted assignments, trusted keys, and just Dayton's dad. There we go. Thank you, Preston. Appreciate that.
Dayton's dad. Oh, okay, cool.
So you were completely wrong twice. Good job.
I hope you'll forgive us. He's a fan of the show. We think because he watches all the time. So we love having you. We love having Ron, the other guys, Fireball Santa.
I should have just said he's got Dayton in his profile picture, but he should have just pretended like you didn't know what we were talking about.
Right.
Yeah, man, you're right though. That package, the speed and size. God, I love those hybrid linebacker safety types, and we have. Like we're starting to clone them. It feels like we've got, we've got like 5-6 guys that can step up, step back, a little bit rangy, fast, can hit. But again, defensively, I don't know what direction you want to take talking about that, Matt, but man, what a day.
Yeah, let's talk about defense. Let's go. Yeah.
So I know we talk about cloning guys, or you were talking about cloning guys, and you're talking about the hybrid linebacker safeties. But when it comes to linebackers, every year we have a new guy step up, and I can't say enough good things about Jason Freeman. Gosh, he was an animal again yesterday. And I got down on the field, pulled that guy aside, gave him a hug, and said, man, so happy for you. So glad you're on this team.
Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. No, he's one of those guys you can watch by the way that he plays. He makes everybody faster around him. Just the way that he gets to the ball, his tenacity on the field. That's the kind of thing that just rubs off when you got somebody like that around you.
And up front, I just started with the linebackers, but the chain gang really did dominate in the trenches yesterday. Caleb Sanders and Reese played like, I tweeted this on Friday night about two Bison senior defenders. They played like two seniors that didn't want to have their last football game. They were dominant yesterday. They were dominant. My God.
No, and you called out that basically if one wasn't making a play, the other one was influencing the play. Spot on. They were in the backfield off, taking up blockers, getting off of blocks. Again, gap sound, and it was from the word go. And I've never seen a team get that befuddled on offense when they know exactly what they want to do. We knew what they wanted to do, and there was no answer. They could not do anything. They were getting frustrated. I loved every second of it.
I think the way the defense played was a bit of a response to the previous game. They knew that was not their best effort and it wasn't going to work. And holy cow, when this defense puts it all together, defense wins championships. If they play like that again, I like our odds.
So I got to say, I didn't watch the post-game presser. Somebody must have asked what the difference was between the last game and this game with stopping the run.
And maybe not in the presser, but Tyler did on the radio on the post-game. And they just said, like, they took it to heart. They refocused. Obviously Stigett showed the press conference. We've heard about that. They showed the press conference from last year's Montana State game where the players were down, defeated. They looked at the stats and Malott running all over them last year. And they took that personally. They wanted to be better. They heard all week, they said, on social media and from the pundits about how Montana State was going to run the ball down their throat.
Oh yeah, team of destiny and all that.
I believe Bach and Reese both talked about that with Tyler and how they were determined not to let that happen. So,
all right. So Preston said, really nice to have our Adam Bach back. That's a tongue twister.
Well, the other.
All right. So when we were going through, I was curious if you can pick a game ball from that defensive game, giving it to the whole defense. I'm not gonna slight you at all.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna slight you at all. I really wanted to just give it to the Chain Gang, but I went back. Did you guys do a full rewatch yet?
I got 3 quarters.
And I got through about the first half.
I got into the third quarter and then I watched the tail end because that's the fun part. But my God, Adam Bach,
Awesome.
He makes such a difference. And that is no slight to the other guys that were in there because we've talked about them all season and how they all stepped up and played great, but good God, what a football player. He influences so many plays. He changed it. Just I wish I didn't take notes this morning when I was watching it. I wish I would have. But the number of times you can see that even if he didn't make the tackle, which he usually did, completely influencing the play, making somebody change direction, stopping somebody else from getting to their block, whatever it was. He just wrecked dudes from whistle to whistle.
Yeah, and his speed is just so unique. You know, it's just what makes him special, and then to be able to play that physicality that, you know, wrecking dudes like you're talking about. So yeah, absolutely. Ha!
There it is.
Yeah, Tommy,
What a player.
tough. He got
What a player.
beat yesterday. Like that offensive line, but he didn't get up. He was never pouting. He was never jawing. He wasn't yelling at his teammates. Really, honestly, like after seeing Sluka, like that was just refreshing to see a really good player like that, not just be a head case. So yeah, I like that. Cats looked like they're on skates. The one defensive tackle though, Valdez or whatever his name is,
Valdez,
95. That guy's a stud still. Like even though we did put up a lot of running yards and stuff, I think he finished with 6 solo tackles as a nose guard or defensive tackle. Like that's some good production. And you know, I watched him a few times and he was resetting the guards and stuff. He's a good player. So they just got to get some more beef around him, it feels like. I don't know.
So, but back to the we're on skates comment. Can we talk a little
tackles? Sorry.
Oh no worries. Back to the on skates comment though. There was some griping on social media, and maybe we shouldn't even give this credit. God.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into this. I don't understand. I get if you're feeling you're sulking and your team is getting your ass handed to you, but claiming that we didn't clean the field well enough and on purpose. One, how in the hell does that benefit us? Mm-hmm. And two, I thought we did a brilliant job clearing the field. I thought it was great it was negative 18 wind chill. It just snowed, 8 inches or whatever it was? Yeah. Like, I thought it couldn't have been better.
And it drifted back in the whole next night. And point 3, I talked to Jeff Holm today, and he said the team that we played, Montana State, actually complimented them on how well the field was put together. So the fans can suck a fart, and that's how I feel about it.
It could have just been, it was probably just a couple people all salty, tweeting out whatever, but I that one just blew my mind.
So I went down on the field, around 1, Chad, when we were in there, 1:30 or so?
Yeah, about then, 1.
I just walked around a little bit when the players were warming up too. I was so impressed. There was not ice at that time on the field. There was definitely snow in the grass. Like I commented on that. There was snow in the grass, but there was not ice out there. And, you know, that's going to slow down the track a little bit, having a little more snow like within the blades there, make it a little bit more of a heavier surface. But, man, for not having any ice, like, and I can't believe Montana State fans could be talking about that, complaining about it after how their field looked a week ago against William and Mary, and watching their players literally skating around in the end zone, like literally, actually. So I don't know. That just felt like a weak argument to me. So
I think the cowbells came through. The crowd sounded really loud on the rewatch. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that crowd.
Let's talk about the crowd.
I was so proud of the people that showed up. That might sound condescending or something, but my God, it was just a proud moment for the program. And 7,000 people may have been louder than 17,000 people. Mm-hmm. It felt that way. And maybe it's because obviously the 7,200 that showed up in those conditions were the ones that obviously care enough to yell on third down and make noise. But man, that was loud.
Matt, you were down on field level, yeah, for some of the game?
No, I was in the stands the whole time.
Oh, okay. I was curious what your take was versus the other games you were down field.
But again, the players commented on it, how loud it was, and commented like this was louder than the sellouts, and that was unprompted. Tyler, a lot of times at the end of the interviews, will ask the players, what do you have to say to Jackrabbit Nation? And a couple of them even called it out before he got to that point, on the radio and stuff. So they noticed it. I mean, you saw the reactions after the game, how they went to the student section and pulled everyone down, and how people were running on the field, and the Santas were jumping in the snow piles in the corners and stuff. So yeah, like that was pretty good. So we bringing cowbells to Texas? Darren is, it looks like.
I mean, are we going to sell cowbells with the JI logo on them? Maybe we should.
Ooh, I like this.
That's a question out to the fans. We could probably set that up.
Oh gosh,
we didn't need more to do.
It did, although throwing back to the olden days, it actually there was like this primal I don't know, there's some like Pavlov's dog kind of response to hearing cowbells in the crowd again. It felt right. It was so nice.
And man, that somebody said it on here. I got to get up to this comment here. Seth Meyer states the crowd was awesome. Nobody sat down for 3 hours and made noise on every defensive play. I'm pretty sure as a whole that crowd was on their feet almost the entire game. That was something to behold.
No, I didn't. I went down below at halftime just to get out of the wind a little bit, but I did not sit down. So yeah, even bought a new blanket to sit in. But yeah,
no, it looked like everybody was on their feet. I was grateful to be in the end zone in the student at the Dykhouse Center back there, so I kind of go inside and outside, back and forth. By the way, shout out to the JFPA for putting that on. That was I had so much fun meeting a bunch of guys that I was sort of aware of who they were. They were a lot of guys that came after me. Got to see a handful of guys I played with too. But it's so fun getting to just experience that with other old guys and just celebrate and catch up, and it was a good time. Really glad they put that on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good. Well, we've talked about the defense. Let's talk about the offense a little bit. Unless there's anything else you guys want to say to wrap up the defensive effort.
Do we want to wait to get into game balls all at once, or do we want to give one right now?
No, let's wait until the end. I do want to say, so I texted this to our group on what day? On Friday, I was going through and doing some final stats. Let me see if I can pull this up quick. I have it on a sticky note in our folders. All right. So entering the Delaware game, Delaware was allowing 138 yards on the ground. We put up 222. Holy Cross was allowing 112 on the ground. We put up 216. Montana State was allowing 129 on the ground. We put up, 280. Where is it? 281? 281. Yep.
Ooh.
So
yeah, but we don't have a potent offense. Just ask the rest of the FCS. That's been the narrative all year.
Well, right? The Missouri Valley is down two guys. You got to keep that in mind.
I mean, we only got the two best teams in the country, one of which is missing half their team and still beat Incarnate Word.
That's going to be me walking around Frisco. I'm just going to continually talk about how the Missouri Valley is down. That's all I'm going to talk about the entire weekend.
Yeah. And the CAA is fine without James Madison. So,
yeah, but they get 5 teams in or whatever.
They should have got 6 probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Where's Jamie? Okay. So let's talk about offense. So Jordan Fink says Lujan has been incredible. Holy smokes, he's been 2 to 3 steps ahead. Yeah, I agree. I think last week we were critical of him against Holy Cross for getting cute in the red zone, but man, this game plan was perfect for attacking this defense. The 605 Hogs owned the defensive front for the most part. Yep, Jim Poppin, perfect.
Indeed, they did.
Yeah. And Mark and Isaiah just continue to be this tremendous duo, just keeping teams off balance, having a quarterback that can pass and run, and Isaiah just being playoff Zay. My gosh, they looked good. Oh,
I think it's crazy how good the Hogs can be when they get to that second level. And we saw that, speaking of this run here, who was it? Number 50. I can't think of his name.
Gus Miller. Yep.
Gus Miller, yeah. The center, sure. He got out, made a block, and then pushed. He gained from first contact. I actually literally watched it and went back and counted it. He gained 25 extra yards from first contact. 25. That's amazing. Yeah. And it happened the entire game. The 605 Hogs were thirsting for Frisco beer, I think, because they were on it, man.
Yeah. No, the same way. I mean, it was dominant from the very beginning. You look at, and again, it was both lines. We owned the line of scrimmage almost every snap. I'd be interested to see how everybody graded out. It had to have been near perfect.
Right.
And, talked about on the defensive side of the ball, the number of times that, we were able to slip off of blocks into the appropriate gaps. Complete flip side, our offensive line finished block after block after block to the whistle. I just could not get off, and
of the whistle.
To the echo of the whistle, and it wasn't the first point of contact type guys slipping off making tackles. It had to be somebody from the second or third level scraping the unblocked guy was the one that would eventually come in and make the tackle for MSU, and it was over and over and over. It was a clinic from the 605 Hogs.
Yeah, yep. Watching one of the big runs, pulling O'Brien around, he did a nice job there. Mason was just dominant like we'd expect. And Evan Burnson, man, he has really solidified that right guard spot. We have not talked about him enough. Berenson, I believe, right? Berenson is his name, but man alive. He's had such a good season after missing that opening Iowa game. I believe at right guard there.
Yeah, you remember when our center to the right side of the line was a question mark for the year?
Yeah.
That was that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
It has not been. No, and you brought up Mason, and I got to chime in on him again. He was back to complete bully form. Again, echo of the whistle, always a little bit extra in there. And then that picture of him climbing the snow pile at the end and throwing snow in the air. I want... my wife probably wouldn't let me put it up, but I want a full poster of that in my basement. God, that's a great picture.
Yeah.
Hey, they say never meet your heroes, but I got to shake his hand, give him a hug after the game, and I feel better for it. Trust me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, what a stud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was great. That snow picture. Quentin Hicks too, who just seems like one of the most
Just
joyous
sitting there
people
hanging.
you'll see. Yeah, just like God, that just looks so happy. Like that's how I felt. So,
On the broadcast at the end, how nice was it that, and obviously it was probably just due to the runtime of the game, but how cool was it that they were able to stick with the broadcast and show the celebration and talk to a couple extra people. And like it felt like they were winding down a big game that people cared about. It wasn't one of those things where you get to the whistle and they do a recap and they cut to commercial and they go to the next show. Like it actually, there was time to wind it down, to show the celebration with the students and stuff. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jamal nails it here. He's been watching Lamar for a long time. He had a great game yesterday.
He did have a great game.
We highlighted him in Rants and Raves. It was nice to see him out in space. Right, those pass receptions that he had, that's where he's so dangerous. And somewhere I thought we'd use him a little bit more in the offense this year. But again, there's so many weapons. But it just gives you a lot of confidence in his future, seeing what he did yesterday. Man, he's a special plair.
We weren't going to leave him out, I don't think. Sorry. My bad. We were going to talk about running back. So go ahead, Dallas. My bad.
No. You and I obviously we got a lag. My bad. But no, that was the first game where watching that felt like I could see him being a feature back. And not that I ever doubted that he could be or anything like that, but like, this is the first one I watched and I'm like, oh yeah, that could be the number one guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's clearly got that in him.
Yeah, I agree.
And Davis was just dragging people left and right. And they commented on it in the broadcast. Let that guy get his shoulders square downfield. It's going to take more than one guy to bring him down. And, he showed that over and over again. The running backs did a great job yesterday. Mark looked stellar with his carries. Not a lot of bad things to say.
No, that was the most Mark game that he could have had. Just look, I mean, those stats. I should have pulled it up before I started talking here. You had it in rants and raves, Matt, but just the completion percentage, the touchdown, the rushing touchdown, the rushing yards. It was just exactly what the offense needs from him. It was near perfect. I think there was 2 throws that he missed. Oh, by the way, negative 18 wind chill. And God, what a good game.
10 of 13 for 189, Dallas.
That sounds like a Mark game to me, doesn't it?
2 tutties and a long of 38.
Yep.
Well, we didn't punt until the second half, so that just tells you how efficient. So, Jeffrey Rhodes, Lindenwood fan here, joining us probably from the FCS Fans Nation. Thanks for being here, Jeffrey. Excited for Lindenwood's future. We've talked about them just a little bit this year.
They're going to be good in short order.
Yeah. We're not going to predict the game tonight. We're going to talk about NDSU versus the Word, but we're not going to do a prediction. We're not going to talk a ton about SDSU, NDSU.
We're not, but they're going to continue to live rent-free in our heads. Apparently, I'm showing my horns down shirt because they...
By the way, every car that passed me on the way home from Brookings today that had North Dakota plates on it got the old horns down. So,
hey, I wanted Ron and our other Montana State friends that are here today. Everyone that I met was so nice. The Montana State fans were fun to talk to.
Yep, they were great.
Why are you guys such jerks on Twitter and the FCS Fans Nation Facebook group?
Maybe it's not the cool ones that are
I don't
the
think it's the same
online.
ones. The Twitter thugs all stayed home and the nice ones came.
Yeah, man. Like, you guys were awesome. You were great to meet at tailgating and at the game. Fun to talk to. So.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to all. I mean, I invited everybody to come back in September. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Remember, we're going to turn around and do this again.
Right. And like apparently that Montana parlay was one of the guys hanging out in front of our tailgate, which I didn't know until after. I threw him a beer and I saw a picture of him with Brendan and I was like, oh, hey, that's the guy I threw the beer to. And he said, yeah, thanks for the beer slushie.
Yep.
Oh, did you see that he went to gyms and had a backpacker? No, that's right, Chad. You posted, didn't you?
Yes.
Did he? Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully you got a picture because they're only $17, and that's
you got to do that in a picture. No, he posted it something along the lines of the green. Must have got the green.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm in a medieval bar. I'm in a Viking bar where this is a thing. God help me, or something like that. Yes, so as I said, you're doing it right, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Go get yourself a slice of pizza from the window.
Yeah, you got some insider information to pick that up, I think.
Nice.
Cool. Do you want to also comment on getting Tucker Kraft involved in the offense? And that's something we're going to have to do against NDSU too. We know he's such a special player, and man, good things happen when you get Tucker the ball. So I hope that's a continued emphasis.
You know what I thought about when you saw some of the creative ways that he was getting the ball, and then they called it out in the broadcast too about, you just got to find ways to get the ball in his hands, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, we didn't have him for a good chunk of the season. And I'm assuming that was part of the game plan early on. And I think maybe we, back to Zach, that we're downplaying how tough it was to pivot when you go into the season, assuming that you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 of those types of plays every game to get the ball in his hands.
And yeah, he did not play against NDSU. That's something to keep in mind. NDSU is going to be getting some defensive players back. Let's not talk. We don't need to talk about this. But NDSU has some players back too on defense that match up well with Tucker.
We got to stretch out content over 20 days here, guys.
Yeah. Oh,
talk slower.
Got me going there. Yeah, talk slower. All right. The real bad part about this game, the only real rant that I had in rants and raves, was our kick coverage. Stunk.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Good.
I mean, we almost allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown to a tight end who was kind of an up man. Ooh, that would have been embarrassing on that one.
I mean, obviously the game plan was to kick those pop-ups, not to let their return guys return it so far. But
Stig loves that. He's always loved that, and I hate it so much.
Right?
It's that might be my only Stig criticism. I hate it.
I just got to know when we're capable of kicking it out the end zone every time. why don't we? That's pretty much going to be my criticism on those plays. Like, if we can do it, why don't we? The Holy Cross game, we did it pretty much every time.
Mm-hmm.
And then that punt that we had was strangely not as deep as I thought it'd be when we were down on our side of the end zone towards the end of the game there.
Well,
we kicked it up. I guess he didn't want to make it a touchback, but...
Well, but I mean, okay, get into physics here. Again, that ball is freaking cold.
That's true.
And it's not. And I actually I just watched McAfee did a video or something where he talked about kind of the science around what happens when there's a cold ball and the leather is cold and you're actually, when you kick a ball, what you're actually doing is compressing the bladder. It has nothing to do with the leather, but when the leather is hard, it changes the way that the bladder compresses. And he could be making shit up. I don't know. But it made a lot of sense, and that's probably why.
Well, golf has ball washers. Don't we have ball warmers for cases like that? I mean, you would think,
probably should.
I'm dead serious. You'd think we'd have some kind of warm box we could put them in.
They did ask about that on the broadcast. If you listened, they asked the gal on the sidelines, Taylor, Montana State was doing or if they were treating the balls at all to get them warmed up for play. So, but on game balls, I did give my game ball to Jaden Mueller on special teams because all those snaps were great. That'd be so hard as a specialist, as a long snapper. Man, oof. We saw it on Montana State's first extra point.
Right. Yeah, it looked like a 2-point conversion from where we were, and it was really just a bad snap.
Yeah. Yep.
Talk about snapping. Back to something else that we just have not talked about this season, which means that.
Knock on wood, Dallas.
No, I'm not. No, that is not a jinx. We have very, very good football players, and the fact that something just hasn't been a discussion all year is awesome.
Yeah, well, it's been a really good, non-talking point, like you said. Yeah.
Aaron, were the speakers jacked up? Between the fans and the speakers, it was hard to hear the band at times. I think the band was
smaller. Yeah, there was about a half or a quarter of the band, and by the way, you put your lips on a brass instrument in 9-degree weather and try and get them back off. They're not going to produce quite the same sound either. The air just flows differently.
Interesting.
But good for them for showing up. That adds so much. I was actually apparently Montana State was going to bring their band and then didn't with the weather. I kind of wish they would have. That would have been fun.
That would have been great.
And hey, I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but the Pride changed their name on Twitter. They were the Pride to Macy's.
Now they're
the Pride to Frisco. So is the Pride going to Frisco to play?
They better be going to Frisco.
I think that would be pretty darn cool. Don't they? For the national championship game, I think they get some dollars to bring those people down there, and they sit in that side with the overhang. The entry side.
Yeah. Interesting. That would be cool. They weren't there in the spring, were they?
Yeah, they were not. But that's maybe that was could have been just a COVID thing.
I was thinking
stadium
that was a
restrictions
COVID
and
thing.
all that.
Right? Yeah.
You guys did. I swear, my mom left an angry emoji. Or
is that who the angry one is?
Yeah, that's my mom. I swear, you guys.
Did you curse? You bad boy. It's on a Sunday too. You're going straight to HE double hockey sticks. Gosh darn it.
Oh man, I always look to see who did we make mad? What did we do? So
I just assumed
maybe she got the wrong
that's even
one.
better.
I guarantee you my mom hit the wrong button and doesn't know how to change it.
Yep, so. that's I don't know your mom, and that's what I guessed. That's great.
Love you, Mom.
All right. Let's finish up these game balls here.
Yeah.
How big is the band?
Well, it depends on what band you're talking about, but the band we took to the Macy's parade was right near the 400 mark, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the biggest one that we've ever had. I did hear him say that.
Oh, here we go. We got a Pride member, 344. Most of us are going to Frisco, but there are a few who can't make it. Thank you, Eric.
Eric, thank you, Eric. Thank you for that, and thank you for what you do. I've said this before, but I remember going way back. I don't know how many football teams actually genuinely appreciate the band. We actively spoke about the band and appreciated what they brought to the game and what they did and how good they were. So thanks, dude.
Mm-hmm. Our band's amazing.
Yep.
Dr. Kessler does a great job.
Yeah, and he gets it. He gets the role in the game. So
And he's full in on the sports teams too. Like it's not just all band.
Yep. Cool. All right. Game balls presented by Dakota Iron. And I hinted at this a little bit. We'll just talk about it because we're going to do something. Hinted at this in the rants and raves about doing a tailgate in Texas. And I want to say Dakota Iron, I emailed all of our sponsors, and Dakota Iron was the first to respond and say, heck yeah, let's go.
Thanks, John.
Send an invoice. So, John, thank you. And so for those of you who do need some heavy equipment, whether it's to move snow, whether to feed your cows, whether to do some construction, whatever it may be sure to make Dakota Iron the first place you stop. And they will listen to you, figure out exactly what you need, and then dig deeper to get you the equipment that you want. So
exactly. And who doesn't need to move snow right now? And I don't care if you have a single stall garage, you still need a bucket loader. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Mm-hmm. Go pick one up.
Yeah, go pick one up. So thank you, John. And we will have more details coming on the tailgate down in Texas. We're going to figure it out tonight. Could be big, could be small. We'll see.
And hold on, back to our friend Eric. We want the pride at our tailgate.
Yes.
They need to stop by.
Bring it on. Let's
they need to come through the parking lot.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fire tailgate weeks. Okay. Cool. Excellent. All right. So I'm not even going to get into our predictions because they just weren't good for game.
Oh, no, just let us know. What did we hit? Just run through them quick.
So I had Jackson on offense and Norblade on defense. Norblade didn't even play.
That's right.
I predicted a score of 45-41. I didn't give our defense enough credit. Chad, you had Mark on offense, so that's a good one. And then Malik on defense. And 42-38 was the score that you predicted. Remember, we predicted the same score, so you got to go first, so I went up. So, yeah. So there we are. Dallas, who you got for offensive MVP or game ball here?
I got to go Mason, and I say that again, not having gone through and broke down each individual offensive lineman. I gravitate towards watching Mason because I love the way that he plays. He's a complete jerk in the best possible way, so that's who I watch. And when the O-line plays well, that's who I see, right? So honestly, you could give it to the whole crew, but I got to go Mason again. Yep. And then let's see, special teams. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm sorry. That one I didn't get a chance to actually watch. Coverage units or anything. Obviously, we struggled. Struggled with that for a good chunk. And then I'll go Bach. He was such a difference maker on defense.
Yep. Chad, what do you got?
Well, I'm tempted to go with Mason McCormick as well, as he is my favorite player. However,
he's your spirit animal.
He is. Well, I'm a little bigger in certain ways, not this way, but this way.
It was on Facebook, so nobody saw it. I was so proud of calling you Hagrid.
I know. You see the picture? It's like a teacup in my hand. It was my wife's coffee cup at the Paris Hotel, Mon Ami Gabby Cafe. She's like, "Honey, take a picture with my cup," and I was like, So when I was a senior in high school, my hands haven't changed size. They're not small, but they're not abnormally large.
It looked
like a girl that was size 0, and I got a picture with her at homecoming dance, and my hand covered like 3/4 of her torso. I hate that picture. My wife knows it. I think that's why she had me take that picture. I don't like it either. I do look like Hagrid. It was a good call out. Back to the game balls. I'm glad I can make you guys laugh one way or another. I'm just here for the shtick. It's the only reason you guys keep me around. I know. Game balls, I would go with Mason. He is my spirit animal. However, I think I'm going to give it to Miller because he had to deal with the ball all day.
Ooh, good call.
We didn't have any errors there. So, Mr. Miller, playing center's not easy. You got a lot of responsibility calling the plays, who goes where and such.
Nice.
Excellent job, buddy. You haven't got enough credit this year, and I'm giving you this game ball.
Good take, Chad.
Yeah, thanks.
Good one.
Defense, I'm tempted to go with Bach. I think because you gave it to him, I won't. I'm going to give it to the best athlete from which town in Minnesota is that again?
The best athlete from Marshall, Minnesota.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Because he is.
Man, he was good.
It's been so fun watching some of the older guys that have graduated give him a hard time about being old.
Yeah, right. It is funny.
Who was it? It wasn't Stacker. Somebody.
Tolu.
Yeah, it was Tolu tweeted out that he has to be mechanically assembled before every game or something.
Yep. That's good. All right.
And special teams Hunter Dustman, because he really didn't have any errors, you know? I mean, everything went well. Again, when we don't talk about something being bad, that's a great thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Hard to have a podcast after such a great dominating performance like yesterday.
Yep. Well,
Silver did have a great game. Good point, Rick Jensen.
Yep. I went with 605 Hogs. You guys are right there. And then I went with the entire defense. So you guys are both right too. And then I went with Jaden Mueller. I already talked about that.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's hard not to give it to the entire defense with that performance. Just for anybody, I know you had it in rants and raves, but the majority of folks listen on the podcast. But when you look at hold on here. All right, individual MSU rushing here. I mean, you've got Chambers, 5 for 12. Malat, 17 for 33. These are all individual players that could run for 200 yards in a lot of games.
Was only 7 for 28.
Yep, Ifonse 7 for 28.
He had the best average at only 4 yards.
4 per carry. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how many fans appreciate how dominant that is? No one. This is the best rushing attack in the country. And it's not even close. And they looked like, and this is going to sound like I'm insulting. It was like a middle school team. And again, these are great athletes. It's a great school. They're going to come in. But my God, on that one day, they got owned. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of, and Ron, we love you, man. I put your comment up. It is Ben's tweet when it comes to you saying that. And Ron, if you haven't saw Ben's tweet, man, I really wanted to just send it to you because it's pretty funny when it comes to college football, right?
Actually, it is, and this is all tongue in cheek. And again, this is a school and a program that I very much respect, right? So this is all like, this is the fun part. You guys were saying this stuff a year ago, so. But yeah, anybody go follow. What's Ben's handle now?
Comments.
Cap'n
Jacks.
Cap'n Jacks. That's what it is.
Cap'n, Cappin, not Captain, because it's like handicapping for those bettors out there.
So either that or he posted it to the FCS Fans Nation Facebook page. But it's, I don't know, how do you describe it? He's got it's basically subtitles over a guy just losing his mind, laughing hysterically, speaking in Spanish probably. I don't even know. But he's got subtitles about how MSU thought they were going to just run all over us, and it's brilliant. It's got 12,000 views just on Twitter already.
Yeah. And really it gets better when you stop and realize the guy's only got 1 tooth. Go back and watch it. The first time I watched it, I noticed that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Not that we think about Montana State fans. They were all great. They really were.
It
awesome.
Yeah, again, I'm not.
For the next game, it's going to be great. It's going to be a brawl. It'll likely be more close.
Yep.
Oh yeah, let's actually. You know what? Yeah, let's. We're not talking about NDSU today. Let's sell that one out in September. That is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they're going to be looking for blood.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about NDSU and the word incarnate.
The word.
A little bit. Yep.
What a fun game.
Yeah.
God, that was fun.
It was fun. And if Carnate Word coaching and decisions were a little different, I think we'd be playing the good Dr. Lindsey Scott down in Frisco.
And because referees could call fumbles.
Well, there was a questionable one in our game too that you go back and look and you say, did he touch that ball? I think he didn't. You kick a field goal, you don't go for two, they win that game. It didn't even have to come down to the refs. Definitely a factor. I would say that would have been a major swing, but they definitely stepped on themselves for the last 3/4 of that game.
Oh yeah, and I did laugh because not at them, but I always listen to Stacker and Kyle's podcast on Saturday morning when I drive to Brookings. That's just what I do, and they had Stone Labanowitz on this week.
Stone.
And Stone was like, "There's
Still
no
on the
way.
all-name team.
There's no way if NDSU goes down 14 points, they're coming back. They can't do it." Well, they did it with 16. So I had to laugh to myself as I was trying not to drive off the road with the ice.
He didn't get our game right.
Yeah,
so give him some credit.
Nailed that. Yeah, no, and weird shit happens. Like, who would have thought that a quarterback going 1 for 12 for 5 yards or whatever the heck it was
still win the game?
Like, you could come back from 16 points down. Seriously? My God.
Yeah, that proves how good the toothless guy, the redhead guy with the long hair, and the rest of that line is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I said it.
A high five. That was pretty epic too.
Man.
He's really funny.
He does that. That guy look. I mean, yeah, you just look at him. He looks like a riot.
If I was the incarnate word guy, I would have done what we did back in the fraternity: is you go to high five with the wrong hand, and then you give him a tap underneath. Serve you right, son.
That game. I think I tweeted it out. And obviously NDSU ended up ahead at halftime, but it still felt like, I think I said, NDSU, in quotes, down by 10 at half. We have them right where we want them, because I've seen this before over and over. And you watch them, and Incarnate Word's got some very good athletes. Obviously, Lindsey Scott's a world-class athlete, but, good athletes across the board. But when you trot out 2 400-pound D tackles, I'm sorry, you're going to have a good first quarter and then you're done, bud. This doesn't work that way. And it looked very much to me like a new really good team that doesn't get how this works yet. And that's how it felt to me.
Yep. Thinking about the Bison right now, they're just they're incredibly beat up. This 3 weeks for them is huge because it gives them a chance to get back to Merrick Williams. They're really good running back. Kobe Johnson got dinged up. Raja Nelson didn't play, and he got carted off against Samford. So they're saying there's a chance he gets back. Both the Mostart twins have a chance to be back. So they're going to get healthy, in these 3 weeks. Kobe Johnson, this was his first chance to really be the lead dog. And I've always liked Kobe Johnson, and he looked awesome. Finally,
dude's quick.
So, yeah, 15 attempts, 137 yards, 3 touchdowns, long of 49. So he had himself a game, and I'm happy for him as a person that he finally was able to have his chance to shine, kind of out of necessity, because they're just out of bodies up there, man. So.
Jordan Fink says NDSU got lucky. Can't have those coaching mistakes. The Word lost that game. I wanted to touch on how many people were complaining online about how lucky, the Bison got and this and that, and they were talking about there's no way this can happen and getting all these calls, and I put it out there that you must be new to this because we've been dealing with this for 10 years.
Oh, welcome to the.
We've seen this before. We know how this plays out.
What was the quote? The quote that I read, somebody said, the Bison horseshoe knows no logic.
Right.
Yeah. It, I'll never, where it first hit me, how ridiculous it can be up there sometimes with the calls is, do you remember that touchdown catch that Dallas Goedert had?
Yes.
In that game?
He spun around, he's on his back, and it didn't go off of him, and they're like, well, we don't have a camera angle.
Yeah.
Do you not have eyes? Were you not watching the ball?
The ref was right there.
Right.
And because that dome is so tight and there's no extra camera angles or extra cameras there that are useful on replays, nothing ever gets overturned. So it just that place is ridiculous. I feel like they do it on purpose to not have the cameras or more cameras set up in there somehow to get better angles on shit. So
that is something that we've talked about this before. That, I mean, it's 2022. And to be honest with you, I just looked at the corner of my computer at the year to say the year for some reason. I must not know what year it is. But it's
right?
No one would have known I did that if I wouldn't have called it out. But I looked at the time, I looked at the year. It's 2022. Man, it would not be hard to have 20 extra webcams set up in various spots to get every angle of every corner of the field from every angle. You should always have the goal lines down both sides. Clearly you're not going to broadcast, but somebody should be able to go back and review that. That's not that hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got cams on the pylons that go both ways now in the NFL. I mean,
exactly.
It can't be that tough.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that pretty, but this is still Division I football. Figure this out.
Yep. The one thing that I'm really thinking about, for this matchup down the road is they gave up 257 rushing yards to Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word's a good rushing offense, and you got to respect Lindsey Scott, but their starting running back had a 5.6 average, and their backup had a 7.7 average. That's a lot of yards on the ground that they were giving up. So and Lindsey Scott too. He had a 3.6 average with sacks factored in, something like that. So he wasn't even a huge part of that. So I don't know. This Bison team is definitely wounded this year. We'll see.
They're wounded. I mean, they still are who they are. They're going to come in with just the stupid mystique and the extra swagger, and even the guys that haven't been there, done that, still feel been there, done that. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yep.
I'm so excited for this. This was the part that it just hit me today. This is actually happening. This is so exciting. The shit talking and the pettiness. It's going to be glorious.
Yep. So I did go back and look at this. Their leading rushers against us in the first game, Hunter Lupke, Dom Ganella, no longer there.
No longer there.
Their leading receiver was DJ Hart. He had a touchdown, no longer there.
No longer there.
Lupke had a touchdown that afternoon as well in the passing game. So,
I mean,
if you've listened to Brendan, excuse me, I'm going to give Brendan a little bit of credit. If you listen to him much this year.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
Well, that's probably true. I hang out with the guy occasionally. So if you do listen to him, you will find out that his take has been the whole year that one of NDSU's defense's weakness is against the run. That. He said teams that can run, they're going to have success. And I think the stats prove him right. So,
well, and we'll see though. If the Mostart twins, if the
that could be a difference maker,
All-American one is back, Eli, I think.
Eli, yeah.
He's the one that's missed the whole season. That's going to make a difference for them on the interior. They have those young pups that Dutenhofer, whatever his name is a true freshman or a redshirt freshman. Took his lumps, I think, early in the season, but he's been making some impact plays the last few weeks. So we're getting deep in the weeds now again.
No, we are, but okay. Again, we got 3 weeks, and it's the frickin' national championship. There's a lot of content to be put out between here and there. Yeah, so I'm going to spend so much time in the weeds.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to put out 3 podcasts a week from now until then.
Oh, at least we can do more than that, can't we? What else are we going to do? We're going to be sitting at work thinking about this, not doing anything else. So, yeah.
Don't tell my boss.
Back to their depth, though. I mean, this is a deep team. I mean, there are. I mean, it's. God, I hate giving them credit. It just feels gross. But due to their success and the prominence of their program, there's no bad football players there. Not that we have any either, but everybody there can frickin' play because there's people that, could succeed at other programs that choose to go there because they have a chance to. There's no NPCs at NDSU, right? I mean, no matter it is, those dudes, they're going to show up and they're going to play.
Yeah.
What a reference, Dallas. Love it.
my son did that once. my son may have called somebody on his 8th grade football team an NPC this year, and that's where I got it from.
Yeah, you talked about it on one of the other pods. That's great, though. I love it. Keep it up.
Oh, funny. All right. So again, this week, Chad, do you know when B team's going? Yep.
It's going to be Tuesday. Whether it's at 8 or 7, it's probably going to be 8, but it will be Tuesday.
Suspense.
Okay. And at some point, we probably won't have a show next week because I believe Sunday is Christmas Day. But Yeah, I'll be traveling. I'm coming back from South Dakota.
We should rate the foods.
Rate the foods. Yeah. But we are going to be putting out likely just so we can get kind of a rough head count of what to expect. Maybe a RSVP list for tailgating. So if that gets posted to Twitter, share it with folks that you think might be there. Let us know. We're still figuring out the details, but again, got to kind of figure out how many people to expect. So we'll see.
So,
Yeah, our goal here is really to make it so people can show up, tailgate without having to really bring anything. Maybe probably a BYOB thing, because otherwise it gets pretty expensive to, cover that. But make it easy for everybody.
Yep. Oh, signing day. Good question, Darren. Yes, good question. Signing day is this week coming
Wednesday?
up. I believe maybe even Wednesday, 21st, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah. So I will not be going live with Jesse Bobbitt at that point. They have bigger things to do than talk to me for an hour. But we'll do an entire recap in January. That's wild to think about for the full class like we did last year with Zach. So
should we, if we can continue our on-air staff meeting, when we could do, I'm off that whole week between Christmas and New Year's. So if we want to do anything, even a shorter pod, something a little more targeted, I don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't thought about guests or anything like that.
Maybe the fans have some desires of things for us to talk about.
Yeah, we did take suggestions. I did see what Christmas dinner rants and raves suggestion pop up in the comments, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, we are going to do Festivus at some point. Too.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about that.
You're welcome for that.
All right, so hold on. So somebody explain. What are we doing?
It's annual airing of the grievances.
Yeah.
And we're going to open this up.
Festivus or not Festivus?
What's that?
Do you know what Festivus is? Yes.
No, it is. I just wanted you to explain. It was a leading question.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Sorry, Dallas. Yeah, we didn't get that.
Yeah, maybe it was on the group chat, but I was complaining about something, which I never do, and and Matt's like, Chad's already in the Festivus spirit, and I was like, we should do an annual airing of the grievances. Wow, how come I can't say that word? Why is it so hard? Grievances.
What is your third favorite side dish for Christmas? Third favorite.
Jello salad.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. That's like 50th for me.
I think.
We got one that's pretty good. It's Jello, pretzels, and Cool Whip.
Man. I like green bean casserole at Christmas. Like, I know that's kind of a Thanksgiving thing for some folks, but so that's.
I'm surprised you didn't call it a hot dish living in Minnesota.
It's a hot dish.
I'm not from here, Chad.
It's a hot dish. Both of you can shut up. It's a hot dish.
Whatever. It's duck, duck, gray duck, and I will not falter.
Of strength.
It is duck, duck, gray duck. Thank you.
I agree.
That's funny. You guys are funny. Oh man.
All right, but anyway, I love back to what I was trying to lead you guys down the path of is I love the Festivus episode where everybody we try to get everybody to show up live and comment, and we can allow everyone else to talk through their area of grievances for the year. It'll be fun.
Yep. Great. Jordan, thank you for bringing up questions. Yeah, this is why we have the best audience. Tickets go on sale tomorrow for season ticket holders at 8 a.m. Non-season ticket holders, it opens up on Wednesday then. I believe at 9 a.m. on Wednesday is what I saw. But if you are a season ticket holder, try to get to your 8 tickets and then sell to Jackrabbit fans. Don't gouge them. Just sell to Jackrabbit fans. Be nice.
Am I to understand we had an allotment of 5,000? That's the word on the street? Does anybody know that?
I believe that's correct. So, yeah.
Well, it's almost 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is 8.
It is 8.
So,
Tim.
All right. So yes, tickets. Jordan, talk to a season ticket holder, and try to get some tickets there. So, yes, Ferguson should ship out some ears up down to Frisco. That's a great idea.
Probably has to go to a distributor, but it'd be nice if they could work it out. They've done that before for the Republican National Convention.
Or a bootlegger. You don't need a distributor.
Yeah.
I mean, hard to bring that many cans on the plane, Dallas.
Somebody's driving.
Yeah.
We got a trunk.
Right. All right. Cool. With that, fellas, go big, go blue.
Going to Frisco!
Go
Go Jacks.